Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vaga Muradian, and welcome to our weekly cyber report sponsored by Northrop Grumman. We're here at Northrop Grumman, or one of Northrop Grumman's facilities in the Washington, D.C. area to talk to Carolyn Caraga, who is the Director of Enterprise Services. We're here to talk about the cyber maturation model certification. DoD is going to much higher cyber standards for all of its contractors. Talk to us a little bit about the timeline on that. We now have the new policy that's out in January 31. Kind of walk us through the timetable that everybody in industry is working against to try to get to that target implementation date later this year.
Right. Well, the DoD has done a really nice job at integrating comments from a lot of folks over the last year, so it's not a brand new rollout, as some people may believe. But we do have some time in terms of companies to implement practices and processes, which is what CMMC is all about, before the Pathfinders come out in June. And then the implementation will be part of an RFP process that'll be later this fall. Once those RFPs come, it will be incumbent on the bidders to be compliant with the stated level of CMMC compliance upon award of the contract.
And tell us what the Pathfinders are, because Katie Arrington, who we interviewed, who's driving this forward late last year, we had a conversation with her. Talk to us about those Pathfinders and the roles they're playing.
Right. It's a great question, and we're all actually waiting to find out exactly what they will be. So the DoD right now is working with different agencies and programs that are looking at those new contracts to determine what the 10 will be. So we will have that information in a few months, but it's not available just yet.
And what is every single enterprise, small and large, is driving to this? So even though some of these things have not been announced yet by the government, everybody is sort of building these bridges. Talk to us about what the mentality you guys are bringing into this, and every contractor should, to try to get to that higher security standard that the department wants to go to.
Right. Well, there is a little bit of a difference. So today, there's a mandatory cyber DFAR clause, which is requiring compliance with NIST 800-171, 110 security controls. And people may think, why is that different from CMMC? It is a self-attestation process, and it allows for plans, objectives, and milestones to be put in place for those controls that are not met. CMMC is a little bit different in that those are going to be mandatory, that you are actually adhering to the practices and processes based on the evaluation of a third-party assessor. So today, programs and companies that may not have full compliance with all those 110 controls really do need to be focusing on completing the POAMs so that those are in place and they're able to go ahead and move through that assessment at a much rapid clip.
And of course, NIST, National Institutes of Standards and Technology, and we had Donna Dodson on recently to talk to us a little bit about cyber interoperability. Talk to us about how contractors need to think about the entire supplier ecosystem. Northrop Grumman, just like every other major contractor, has thousands and tens of thousands of suppliers, some large, some medium, a lot very small. What's the right approach to help bring all of these guys up to speed as well, because you're graded on their performance as well at the end of the day?
Absolutely. So we truly value our suppliers, and you're absolutely correct. We have many, and they're very, very important to what we do and the processes and the products that we deliver. So it's important to us that we help aid them, and it's important to a lot of our peers in the defense industry as well. So we have gotten together, and we're collaborating on a new website that will be going live in the next few weeks called Cyber Assist, available through the DIB, and that is going to have how-to videos, examples of policies, processes, and guidelines that will align with each of the controls that are part of CMMC. So I do think that will be a significant value to those companies.
And how are primes working with one another in this process as well, right? Because you guys have a lot of common interests and common issues that you guys are trying to work simultaneously. So there's a dialogue you're all having with the department, but then among yourselves.
Right, right. I think the DIB has been fantastic in many ways. It's brought us together to talk about security. So when there are things that one of us see, we're able to alert others and share that information, and I think it has strengthened us in many, many ways. But we're also working across many industry groups, the working groups, as you mentioned, that we've been participating in with CMMC. And so there's been much of the collaborative dialogue going on back and forth across the community and the industry, which I think has been a benefit to all of us.
And the DIB is?
The Defense Industry Board. Yes, thank you.
Just wanted to make that clear. Carolyn Caraga, the Enterprise Services Director here on the Northrop Grumman team. Carolyn, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Best of luck and look forward to talking to you again as we get closer to the finish line.
I appreciate that. Great talking with you as well.